When the internet was rocked by the news of Chrissy Lampkin's baby, Jim Jones's mother merely said, "Nope, not on her watch." After all, weren't Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin supposed to be the unbreakable couple in the hip-hop industry, the ride or die duo that had everyone cheering for them? Now, after 20 years of dating, Chrissy reveals she is pregnant, and Jim's own mother is stopping it. In actuality, Jim Jones is acting like a Club Chili security guard, acting as though he has never heard of Chrissy or the so-called baby. Is this all a huge publicity gimmick, or are we witnessing a real-life family disaster? Stay tuned as we go into great detail about this complex and tragic subject. And I promise you, this tea is hot. Now, let me tell you, this drama is playing out like a reality show on steroids, and is messier than we could have ever imagined. Let's move on to their predicament, since Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin have been together for decades, as everyone knows. Despite dating since the early 2000s, Jim has not yet been legally married. This is due to the fact that, let's not forget, Chrissy proposed to him years ago, and this man still didn't get married. Jim claims that Chrissy has faced criticism for sticking by him over the years. "Sir, you have a woman getting down on one knee, and you're still out here moving like it's 2003, be for real," he continued. Others have continuously made fun of her, calling her a forever girlfriend and mocking her for continuing a relationship that never ended in marriage. But there is a plot surprise that no one anticipated. Chrissy is purportedly pregnant, even though her face is flushed. Why is there a delay? No. Recall that Chrissy said she didn't want children on Love and Hip Hop years ago, that she didn't a part of her path because she was too preoccupied with her life and her business. After all these years, Jim Jones's response when he found out she was expecting his child is beyond my comprehension. When this news broke online, Jim looked as confused as the rest of us, and his face said it all. He was looking around him. If you know anything about Nancy Jones, Jim's mother, she has been involved in his affairs from the start, probably still calling Jim a dozen times a day to check on him and reminding him to apply lotion before leaving the house. She is the epitome of an overbearing mother. He was surprisingly chosen in the NFL draft at the age of 47. Since she has never been a fan of Chrissy, did she sew small baby booties and wear a granny sweater to celebrate the kid's arrival? No, according to family sources, she was furious. She wasn't just depressed, ma'am. She was also too old to be having children now. And if she truly wanted children, she should have had them years ago. This insults her as well, but it gets worse. Because she is one of the people in, "Do you mean that this child will not even be able to be called a Jones until after they are born, before they breathe? Please pardon me." Mama Jones has already decided that they don't exist, ma'am. You might want to give this baby a chance to survive the pregnancy before you start disowning them. Her inner circle does not acknowledge this child as a grandchild. As you are all aware, a man who is too quiet can only be attempting to figure out how to make a convincing lie or know something we don't. Jim has been quite silent about this pregnancy, while Mama Jones is out there ending it. To be honest, though, it appears to be both because Jim has been evading questions as though he were in, if it were a celebration. Wouldn't you be out here posting ultrasound pictures and formally announcing your joy? But nope, my friends. Silence is the most important warning sign of all. Whenever someone asks the Matrix whether Chrissy is actually pregnant, sir, he just erupts into uncomfortable laughter and changes the topic, since it was just made public that Jim and Chrissy no longer live together. Excuse me, but you're saying that, on top of expecting a child together, they don't even live together? Come on, we all know that Jim has been living on the streets for a long time with a little too much ease and has had his share of side stories. This raises the question of whether this child is actually Jim's. He has been acting so aloof, reticent, and avoidant that you would think he was just put through a paternity test on live television. You know what happens when men start behaving. There is a lot of whispering going on behind the scenes. If Mama Jones is already closing things down, does she know anything? Despite her messy appearance, she has always been adept at spotting lies. Parent of this child. Even if we do not yet have the receipts, You can be sure that the internet investigators will find out and take notice if there is even the remotest possibility that Chrissy was involved in any scandalous action. We don't, because Mama Jones won't. Let her darling baby boy raise a child for someone else. She will make sure that everyone knows if she even has the slightest suspicion that this child isn't indeed descended from the Jones family. This is where the story takes a crazy turn because everything depends on what Chrissy does next. Will she respond with a clap? When I say that things have become worse, I mean messier, because she claps loudly when this occurs. After all this drama, will she provide the DNA results to calm the doubters? Or will there be a bigger surprise that nobody saw coming? My pals, that's when it gets real. Began to circulate, Chrissy made the decision to confront the charges head-on. First of all, let's get straight to the point, she continued, as though she knew she was about to drop bombs. You guys are really out here talking crazy, acting like I'm lying about pregnancy. Like, what kind of sick person does that? She looked at the camera directly and said, "Y'all love to act like I'm the bad guy, like I've been some villain in this family for years, but let's be real." A few responded, "Okay then, Chrissy, but listen." She didn't stop there because when people started bringing up Mama Jones's accusations, calling the whole pregnancy suspicious, and saying it's too late for Chrissy to be having kids, that set her off, since Chrissy has been on her neck from the start, berating her for her love of hip-hop and making shady remarks about her not being a wife. It is obvious that Mama Jones never wanted her in the family. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine, when it's not. And his mother is the real issue, not me. What we've all been thinking for years was actually expressed by Chrissy. At the end of the day, I don't need anybody's approval. I don't need Jim's mama to accept my child. My baby will be just fine without all that negativity, Chrissy said. And then she tried to say, "This baby isn't in. Oh, Rissy wasn't having it." That is where the real gag comes in, essentially shutting down everything. Not to be outdone, Mama Jones posted a response on Instagram within hours, leaving everyone stunned. She responded, "Let me tell you something. I've dealt with a lot of nonsense over the years, but this right here is some foolery. I don't care what anybody says. Something isn't adding up. A few are doubling down, y'all." Mama Jones is unwavering in her conviction that this baby is not real, that she does not have faith in Chrissy, and that she will not let Jim be taken advantage of. On the internet, this debate is being torn apart, with half of the participants supporting Chrissy and claiming that she has endured enough suffering and that it is time for people to let her live, while the other half are backing Mama Jones and claiming that she might actually be all right. Jim has yet to speak, and that quiet is deafening since, let's not forget, he should be providing for his girlfriend, his child, and his family by now, if this was truly his baby. But then, just when we thought things couldn't get much stranger, a woman made statements that had Jim Jones as the father of a strange woman who has just emerged from the bushes to announce that she is also pregnant. I'm sorry, but this has just turned into a whole Maury episode. The woman, who will go by Tasha, has been having an affair with Jim for more than a year, and guess what? She hasn't really gone public yet. She says she is expecting his child. The fact that Jim Jones is out there winging after being seen in Miami with a man who wasn't Chrissy or Tasha soon after these accusations were made has the internet in full-blown meltdown mode today. Is Tasha making this up? Is Chrissy really expecting? Or is Jim actually playing both of them simultaneously? Who exactly is expressing the truth, we wonder? Truth, we wonder. Even as an adult, Jim is being ridiculed for his messiness, games, and allowing his mother to control his life. Let's face it, they are not incorrect, as Jim has had decades to prove himself to Chrissy by making untrue claims and allowing unimportant issues to impede their progress. He still acts like a rapper in his 20s who only made his debut in 2025. If there's even the slightest chance that Jim got another woman pregnant, you can be sure Mama Jones will make sure Chrissy never hears the end of it. For the first $1 million, Chrissy is trying to persuade everyone that she is expecting his child, while another lady is also claiming to be carrying his child, since the only way to solve this issue is with a DNA test. Jim's refusal to take one is already known to us. If baby Chrissy does take one and it turns out that he has been lying to everyone all along, he may wake up and go permanently. In addition, Jim has spent years living a reckless life. The question is whether Chrissy will now understand what we have all been saying the entire time, because let's face it, she should have left a long time ago. When that happens, part 3 is even stranger. Since there is currently only one way to end this, Chrissy is tired of Jim Jones. Mama Jones is louder than ever, and the streets are talking. What occurs if a DNA test is messed up? Jim Jones is still avoiding and evading baby. 2 ladies are claiming to be expecting your child, but you're still saying nothing about it. That Jim hasn't come out to stop. This is because, let's face it, if Chrissy were really carrying his child, he would be protecting her and telling his parents right now. Mama, wouldn't he be? In contrast, Jim is out here moving like a ghost, saying and publishing nothing, just hiding. You already know Mama Jones's personality. She came back to live and told everyone how she felt. And when I told you she was going, she said Mama Jones is essentially saying that if Jim truly thought Chrissy was pregnant, he would have spoken up by now. To be honest, she is not wrong, because everything about this situation is wrong. You now realize that I've been warning you that something wasn't right. Chrissy wants to be the victim even though my child isn't even claiming this baby. Things simply don't add up, and the internet is in ruins. People are criticizing Jim for not having the courage to confront his mother, Chrissy for remaining in the same place after all these years, and Mama Jones for becoming overly involved in her grown son's business because, let's face it, you have to let Jim Jones enjoy his adult life with a mature woman at some point. You're implying that since Chrissy is finally accepting what we've all been saying, that Jim Jones will never change. That might be the last straw for her. She has been patient and has endured years and years of drama, disrespect, and general silliness. It is embarrassing that she is acting like she is his wife. After packing her bags, Chrissy did what you can imagine. Yes, baby Chrissy is gone. After gathering her belongings, she boarded an aircraft and headed straight for Miami. I have to admit that Chrissy is living her best life. She may already be seeing someone else, according to rumors, so she wasn't by herself when she was pictured at the beach and clubs. I'm sorry, but after keeping Jim down for so long, she's finally moving on. Listen, let's face it. How many chances was Chrissy supposed to give Jim Jones? He deserves this. How long was she supposed to wait for a ring that would never come? How many times was she supposed to ignore the mother's nastiness and the charges of adultery? Baby Chrissy has finally had enough of the drama and the never-ending excuses. But just as we think the story is about to end, the surprise occurs because guess what else was out there with Chrissy? Jim Jones F. Pardon me, sir, but she was followed to Miami by this man. You want to act worried and defend her right now. Because, my dear, where were you when she was out here trying to prove to everyone that she was actually having your child? She sobbed and pleaded with you to keep her safe from your mother. You want to appear and act normal now that she's finally gone on. Street sources claim that Jim won't let Chrissy leave without a fight, blowing up her phone, pleading with her to return, and urging her that Hill should handle things because he doesn't want to lose her. Don't try to manage this right now, sweetie. Chrissy has given this man too many chances. In addition, it might be too late, because what's insane about that? Chrissy might not be pregnant after all. Wait, what? On the streets, people are talking, and some of them are saying, after all these years, would Chrissy really go out like that? Or is she still hoping Jim will pop the question? Come on, ask yourself. It's possible that the whole pregnancy issue was an attempt to determine Jim's preparedness to finally step up, and he completely failed. Given that she is not pregnant, the question now is whether Chrissy is actually done. With Jim Arif, it was all a ploy to get him to pop the question. What are your thoughts? Is this the end for them, or will Chrissy allow Jim to win her back as he always does? If she does, the internet will never allow her to survive. Man, sweetheart, she's been waiting for you. The drama is far from over since, as you now know, Jim is still in Miami trying to win Mama Jones back and won't change the record, and Mama Jones is somewhere, ready to pop off again. As you are already aware, the drama is only getting started and is not yet complete. Will Chrissy truly disappear forever, or will Jim be able to bring her back? What about Mama Jones? I see she has more to say. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Is it just more drama, or is Chrissy's narrative truly over? It's the same old garbage, but remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates.